let's talk about you. What is the actual relationship between your mind and your body? I mean, it's one of the biggest questions you can possibly ask, right? It gets right to the heart of who you are. Are your thoughts, your feelings, your consciousness, are they the same thing as the physical brain sitting in your skull? Or are they something else entirely? All right, let's get into it.
So let's just put it out there, plain and simple. Are you your brain, just a really, really complex bundle of neurons firing away? Or is the you that experiences the world, your mind, something completely separate? This is a huge debate today in fields like AI and neuroscience. But way back in the 17th century, a philosopher named René Descartes came up with a radical answer that honestly still shapes how we talk about this stuff today.
But here's the thing. Before Descartes could even begin to tackle the mind, he had this massive problem he had to solve first. After his famous method of doubting everything, he found himself in a position where he had to prove that the physical world, the world of our bodies, of chairs and trees and stars, even exists at all.
So how did he prove the world was real? Well, not with a microscope, but with a really clever argument based on logic and faith. As you can see here, he starts with a simple observation. We all have this incredibly powerful, gut-level feeling that our senses are telling us about real things out there. He then reasoned, if this deep, natural feeling was a total lie, it would mean God created us to be systematically deceived. And since a perfect, all-good God couldn't be a deceiver, his conclusion was, well, the external world has to be real.
But, and this is a huge but, just because the world is real doesn't mean our senses show it to us perfectly. For Descartes, your eyes, your ears, your sense of touch, they're practical tools. They're designed to help you survive, to tell you, hey, that fire's hot, don't touch it. They're not designed to reveal the ultimate, deep, philosophical truth of what fire is. So in short, they're for survival, not for seeing ultimate reality.
Okay, so physical world, check. It's back on the table. With that settled, Descartes could finally turn his attention inward. He's proven the world of the body is real. But now, what about the mind? What is this I that's doing all the thinking and doubting in the first place?
He gave it a name, res cogitans. That's Latin for the thinking thing. And this thing is pure mind. It's the whole inner world of your consciousness, your doubts, your ideas, your imagination, your feelings. And notice the key feature here. The mind has no physical properties. It has no size, no shape, no weight. You can't find it in space. It's just pure non-physical thought. And this is where we get to his most famous and definitely his most controversial idea. He called it the real distinction. He's about to argue that your mind and your body are not just different, they are two fundamentally separate kinds of things. And this chart just lays it out so clearly. The mind, res cogitans, thinks. The body, which he calls res extensa, or the extended thing, doesn't. Your body takes up space, your mind doesn't. And here's a big one. You can divide a body, you can cut off an arm, right? But can you have half a thought or quarter of a soul? No way. They seem to have completely opposite, mutually exclusive properties. So he formalizes this intuition into a logical proof. He basically says, look, try this thought experiment. You can perfectly imagine your mind existing without your body. And you can also imagine your body existing without a mind, just like a rock or any other object. Well, if you can clearly conceive of them as separate, then an all-powerful God could actually create them as separate things. And if they could exist separately, that must mean they are, right now, two fundamentally different substances. And this famous idea gets a name, Cartesian dualism. It's the theory that reality is split right down the middle. On one side, you have all the physical stuff, bodies, rocks, planets. On the other side, you have all the non-physical stuff, minds, thoughts, souls. And a human being? Well, you're this incredible, strange combination of both. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so the mind is like a ghost driving a robot body around. But wait, Descartes has this fascinating twist coming. After going to all that trouble to prove mind and body are separate, he then argues that they are also deeply, profoundly, and intimately connected. He used this absolutely brilliant analogy. He said, the mind is not in the body like a sailor in a ship. Think about it. If a sailor is on a ship and the ship hits an iceberg, the sailor doesn't feel the wood splintering. He just gets a report. Captain, there's damage to the hull. He observes the problem. He doesn't feel it himself. But that's not how we work, is it? Not at all. When your body gets hurt, you feel pain. It's not a detached report. It's a raw, urgent experience. When your body needs fuel, you feel hunger. For Descartes, this was absolute proof that the mind and body are mixed together in what he called an intimate union. So, how does this connection happen? How does the non-physical mind touch the physical body? Descartes actually had a guess. He zeroed in on the pineal gland, this tiny little structure right in the center of the brain. He noticed it was one of the few parts of the brain that wasn't doubled up on both sides. So he proposed it must be the special, single point of contact between the soul and the body. Now, we know today that's not what the pineal gland does, but it just shows how seriously he was taking this problem of connection.
And here's the kicker. In trying to solve one problem, Descartes accidentally created a new one. A philosophical puzzle so deep and so difficult that we are still struggling with it hundreds of years later. It's called the interaction problem, and it's brutally simple to state. If the mind and body are two completely different types of stuff, how in the world do they interact? How does a non-physical decision, a thought, cause your very physical arm to reach out and grab a cup of coffee? How does the physical event of light hitting your retina cause the non-physical experience of seeing the color red? This is the classic way to put it, and it makes perfect sense. We all get that a ghost can't push a rock, right? It's not physical, it has nothing to push with. But if Descartes is right, your mind is basically a non-physical ghost. So how can your non-physical mind push around the physical muscles and bones in your arm? It's the exact same problem, just happening inside your own head every second of every day. And that brings us full circle, leaving us right back where we started, but with a much, much sharper set of questions. If your mind is a non-physical ghost in the machine, then how does it pull the levers? The interaction seems impossible. But if your mind is the machine, if it's purely physical, then what on earth is a thought? What is the physical shape of an idea? What's the chemical formula for the feeling of joy? That is the philosopher's ghost that Descartes left for all of us to chase.